All right, Addy, I'm going to do my best to start us off with a very familiar jingle, hopefully to
Oh,
you. The NFL Draft 2026 is about to commence, and we're about to hear that famous chime. Unfortunately for the Indianapolis Colts, Colts fans probably aren't going to hear that until the second round, unfortunately. So on Friday, but that's okay. We can wait a little bit, I guess. Have some fun in the first round and watch all the other teams, make mistakes or draft their futures. So,
yeah.
Mr. Adiobaroi, how are you feeling going into the 2026 NFL Draft?
So just based on that jingle alone, you were definitely a choir kid, and I know you crushed it. Like, we're like, I know, like, you fucking crushed it, dude. Like,
Dude, my
you're.
mom always said I should be in choir, but
Like,
I was always worried that I was gonna get made fun of. But honestly, I should have just went for it, to
said,
be
fuck it,
honest.
bro. You just
Yeah,
tell, bro.
because
You would have
now
been
I just
elite.
make content and put myself out there all cringe, so I probably could have been fine in
Who the
choir.
fuck cares what people thinks, right? Like, that's the most
Exactly.
important thing. Yeah. I mean, obviously sucks. We're in regards to, hey, we don't get to see a first round pick being called for the Indianapolis Colts, but I'll take Sauce Gardner over anyone in this draft class. So, I'll take it. I think he's worth two firsts. It does kind of suck we don't have a 27 first, but at least for 26 one, like, I'll take Sauce Gardner, a perennial All Pro at 25 years old, over whoever we could have been drafting at 16 or 17 overall. But I am
Great take,
excited.
by the way. I saw that
Yeah.
you were defending anyone that hasn't yet. Make sure you follow Mr. Addy Oberoi. It's just at Addy Oberoi right here down in the handle on X/Twitter. I saw you defending against a couple people the other day, and you're exactly right. Sauce Gardner is better than anybody we're gonna get in the first round right away.
Yeah.
Similar to the DeForest Buckner situation, right? A few
Yeah.
years back, instead of the 13th overall pick.
I
So
mean, I,
great
I
take.
think I
Great
think
take.
Sauce is worth 2 1s. Like, I
Mhm.
genuinely do believe that. It just kind of sucks that the second one is in such a stacked like draft class in 2027. But I'd still take a proven NFL player over an unproven guy at
Oh,
the
if
end
he
of the day.
balls
So,
out, he's a top three corner.
oh
There's
yeah,
no
oh yeah.
there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I think he's solidified himself as top five. I think in the NFL,
Mhm.
and then I can make a case for top two. Like, I could see
Yeah.
him being two. And I put that out there so everyone can see it. But I am excited for the draft. I think someone that's more excited for the draft would be Logan. He is on the boots, on the ground in Pittsburgh this weekend. Going to be covering a lot of the draft stories. Hopefully, some Colts stuff happens in the second,
I
third,
know.
fourth
Yeah.
round. We talked about a little bit before this that in the Ballard presser, he mentioned that the third through the fifth round is kind of like the sweet spot. So maybe you see some trading back. I don't know. What were your thoughts on that Ballard presser from yesterday?
Yeah, a couple key thoughts from me. Number one, it sounds like, again, he didn't say this directly. Ballard did not. I just want to preface that. But the impression that I got, slash the impression that a lot of the media members that were there got, was that the Colts aren't really hearing many trade requests that are coming in for Kenny Moore and Anthony Richardson. That was something that I was kind of looking forward to. I was hoping maybe we get some Kenny Moore, Anthony Richardson news on draft day, or either
I
day
think we
two,
could.
day three. I think we still could. I hope so. Maybe he's just keeping it, under the hood there, under wraps, just so we don't go crazy with it in the media. But yeah, that was one thing that I took from it, is that it seems like there is a slight possibility. There's a world where the Colts, number one, release Kenny Moore, like a courtesy release, and then number two, there's a possibility that Anthony Richardson is just back as a Colt next year and probably just sits behind Riley Leonard, and maybe he'll get some playing time in the preseason or something. But barring injury, I mean, he's just gonna kind of be a guy
I
that's
mean,
sort of filling
we talked
filling a
about the
body on the bench.
we talked about it yesterday. Like, if you're not going to get at least like a fourth or fifth round pick
I know.
for Anthony
Yeah.
Richardson, like, I'd rather just keep him because he's not much of a cap hit this season. Next season is like when you have to decide, do we pick up his fifth year, or like whatever that looks like. Or maybe that was this season. I don't remember. I think it was next season, but I'm content with just keeping him. Like, if you're not going to get value, his value is only going to increase. His vision's only going to get better. Like Logan said, he'll probably play in a preseason game or two, and barring injury, hopefully there's no injury, extensive injury to Daniel Jones next season or Riley Leonard. Like if Anthony Richardson does have to come in, like I'm content as a backup quarterback or as a third string quarterback to have AR there. I just think there's no harm in holding him, despite how, and we've seen multiple trade requests happen that don't actually go through, right? So,
Right.
especially a guy that's unproven himself, like Anthony Richardson, has all these accuracy issues and injury issues. Like I'd still rather just hold on until we get
Mhm.
peak value versus selling him low. And then to your comments on Kenny Moore, yeah, it kind of sucks. Like that Stephen Holder from ESPN and other media members kind of took it that way. Obviously, you mentioned too, like Chris Ballard didn't explicitly say
Mhm.
that we'd give him like or we just release him out of courtesy, but it sure as hell didn't seem that way to the average listener,
Right.
and to the ESPN reporters and all the media Colts media members there. So that would suck. I was hoping to at least get like a fourth, a 29-year-old nickel that's probably top 5, top 7. Regressed a little bit last season, but still has it in there for a contender. Like I would hope we at least get a 4th round pick for him. But we'll see what that looks like. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Come draft day, we'll probably see some movement, hopefully of both Kenny and AR. But um, I hope
It's
we're just
seeming
not selling low.
it's seeming very slim at this point,
Sure. Yeah.
for us to get any real value out of him, unfortunately. Because anytime you start even somewhat bringing the idea of a courtesy release, with a player like that, it's kind of, even if it's not from the GM directly, the fact that that information is out there,
Yeah.
I think it's really going to mess with
And
some of the Colts' leverage there, unfortunately.
And it seemed like too, like it wasn't like like I guess to some degree it was a mutual like let's trade you, but it was more of Kenny actually initiated first, saying that like I'm not looking to play in Indianapolis next season. Just kind of based on his, what Ballard said in his media presser was, I don't really want to play in Indianapolis next season. I love Indianapolis, I love you, but like we got to find I just don't want to be in Indy. It just doesn't make sense. Louis
And
Anarumo's scheme doesn't make sense for him. I don't know, but
I wanted to say that too, that I do respect, I respect Kenny Moore's opinion on that, and I respect him wanting a fresh start because he's a guy who has been here through some of the worst ups and downs and just terrible locker room culture things. And obviously he's been here through the Andrew Luck
yeah,
fiasco and the quarterback carousel and just the epic collapses on this team. So I understand from his perspective. He's like, hey guys, I've got, maybe 2-3 years left of play, like elite play left maybe in me, in my NFL career. I'd like to go somewhere where I can have some success and potentially be a part of a playoff team, be a part of a team that's looking to compete. And
I,
right now, I don't know if his best bet would be the Indianapolis Colts. Just looking at it from a
Well,
outside perspective.
The Colts need to make the playoffs. So like having Kenny
Mhm.
there is definitely good, but like we need to get younger, we need to get cheaper. So
Right.
I understand kind of moving off of him, especially in a contract year. I will say though, I kind of like the direction of the Colts. Like you you have a bunch of guys that were like finished 9-8, 8-9 over the last couple of seasons that were veteran players, leaders in this locker room, like Michael Pittman, Zaire Franklin, now Kenny Moore, who are the Colts are like, hey, like we're gonna move you. We're open to doing that now, and we've done it for 2 out of those 3 guys. But I think the culture shifts there. They want to get younger. They recognize that maybe these aren't the players that we're supposed to make the playoffs with or win a championship
Mhm.
with, win a Super Bowl with. So I kind of like this direction of the Colts. I hope they did that. I hope they do that with Chris Ballard next season too. Like, hey, maybe this isn't the GM that we can
Yeah.
win with.
That I think
But
I think there's a lot of people that would join you in that
yeah,
sentiment. No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think it's very clear that they're going in a different direction. You look at just the way the offseason has gone, and you see all these new guys, the new blood that's coming in, especially with Daniel Jones. He's kind of the one that symbolizes, right, the new era more than anything. Is, hey, we're committed to, this guy at least for the next 2 or 3 years at quarterback. So yeah, I agree. I think it's a completely different team. On that note, one of the guys who's going to lead the charge here, be one of our key guys, probably a guy that's on the side of Lucas Oil Stadium, I would imagine,
mhm.
come September. Alec Pierce, right after getting paid, it comes out now, in Ballard's pre-draft press conference yesterday, that Alec Pierce had a pretty routine cleanup ankle surgery. Apparently, it's going to be about a 3-month recovery. Wanted your thoughts on that real quick, but one before I ask you that, I was a little confused on why Pierce didn't, I guess, do this immediately after the season, why he waited until later into April. I don't know if maybe he was getting some different opinions
It
on
was,
that,
yeah.
or if it was more contract related where he didn't want to be in the middle of surgery and trying to get a
Maybe a
contract
little bit of that.
done. Yeah.
I think it was a lot of based on his presser. It seemed like it was a lot of just like internal discussion because he got it last
Okay. Yeah.
season
Yeah.
and he played through it a majority of last
I
season.
did see that. Yeah, he did play through it majority of last season, but yeah, I
Yeah,
was just that was a question I'd seen online floating from some Colts fans and sort of a question that was in the back of my mind. I
yeah,
assume that it's probably a combination of those two things, but
yeah. They
yeah.
did decide that like, and they were thinking about also just having him play on it this season.
Yeah.
I think they came to a realization that hey, like maybe just cleaning it up might be the best thing. Yeah, he won't be able to participate in OTAs and stuff like that, but at least having him in training camp, he obviously already knows the system. But now he's wide receiver one, so he's got to just be ready. So let's just do it
Mhm.
as early as we can. From I wish they did it in like February or March, but I'm sure that
That's what
is
I
where
was
the
thinking. Yeah,
contract
I was like
discussions
maybe
come into play.
right after his contract got signed is when I would have
Well, they're
liked to
probably
shoot for
like,
it,
I
but
mean, they I'm sure both parties knew that they wanted to stay in Indy, but like
Mhm.
also it's like it's not the Colts' decision for him to get an ankle surgery if he's a pending free agent until he's in the building.
That's
So
so true. Yeah, that's so
yeah,
true. I'm assuming that was probably the majority of it is
yeah.
just you don't wanna be going through that experience in the middle of free agency. That would be
But
bad.
I'm not concerned. Like I feel like he'll be fine. In 3 months, and he'll be true pure wide receiver one. So
Yeah, no, I'd rather him do it now, that for sure.
yeah,
Like, I'd much rather see this news now than in July,
yeah,
like,
hundred
in the
percent.
middle of training camp. I don't wanna see that. That is
Yeah,
not what I wanna see.
that would suck,
So, yeah. Start talking about missing the first 3, 4 games of the
dude.
season, and
Yeah,
then we start panicking a little bit.
dude. Yeah,
But other than that, I think the only other thing that Ballard really, talked about of note was the fact that he feels like the Colts have gotten better on the defensive line, at least on the depth front of things. Um, Debatable. I think, yes, we got some depth pieces for sure, but he mentioned that JT Tuimoloau is gonna have to take a big second year leap, he feels. He said they need like a fastball to complement Latu's, potential double digit sack ability basically. So
yeah. That's what he
what are your
said.
thoughts on the defensive depth talk from Chris
I mean, yeah,
Ballard
the
there?
Colts got some good like Arden Key and Wooden and some guys at the back end to kind of round out. But I think
Mhm.
he's still hoping, and he mentioned that Latu hasn't hit a ceiling as the double digit sack guy per season that he knows that he can be. Hopefully, that is this season. And if he does do that and complement that with Buck's injury, like you just need a guy like coming off the other side. Quiddy Pay didn't do it; he wasn't able to do it. So you take a guy JTT in the second round of last year's draft, and out of Ohio State had a phenomenal playoff series, 3 or 4 games there in the college football playoffs, and then comes here and uh, you know, he's on the sideline. He's not participating in games. They just have him as a I forgot what you call it in the beginning of games. When they
Oh,
come
healthy
out with the
scratch.
healthy scratch. Yeah, he's like a
Yeah,
healthy
healthy scratch.
scratch. And so like you can't
Mhm.
have that out of your second round pick. So he's got to,
Right.
come out and play and be that complement to what we think Latu can be and what Chris Ballard and the defensive line thinks that Latu can be. So yeah,
Yeah, no, I agree. I think JTT needs to, if you're a second round pick, you have to produce something or
have
at
to.
least look like you're progressing in the right direction, right? I mean, a
Have
second
to.
round pick is a very, very valuable, very important pick, as we all know. A lot of sometimes the second round is actually more important, I would argue, than the first round. That the hit rate of second round picks is normally a lot higher than the hit rate for first round picks, just because um, a lot of times those guys are coming in and they're unproven and they want to work to get to their spot. You know what I mean? To
You're
prove that
yeah,
they're going to be
you're not
long
gonna
term
get
NFL
like
guys.
you're not gonna get like a first round blue chip player unless they fall into the second round. But these second round guys, like you said, they work hard. They got to prove it. And then
Hell yeah.
secondly, it's like having a complement, like having a well rounded out group like of edges or whatever. Like if
Hmm.
JTT can come out and be that number one guy from the well rounded out group category, I mean that'd be great if Latu turns into the superstar defensive end that we drafted him to be. That double digit, Max Crosby kind of guy. So
Need it.
need it.
Need it like I need oxygen, brother.
Love it.
I know you got to get going here soon, so we're gonna do a quick little mock draft simulator.
Two
Just the
days.
second and third round, real quick together.
Mhm.
Just to get an idea maybe of a couple names that we're looking at. So shout out A to Z Sports for
Get that
their
ad
mock
out of there.
draft. Oh my
Get
god,
that
this ad.
ad out of
Get
there.
that
We're
ad out
not
of here. All right,
sponsored by that
here we
ad.
go.
Love A to
We're
Z, though.
going fast. And boom, here we go. All right, guys.
We'll
Who
just
is
tell
gonna
who we
be
want.
available at this pick? That's the real thing. When you're talking about pick 47, it gets a little
Okay, I see a
crazy.
little Surratt action
So if
there.
so linebacker wise, it looks like maybe Anthony Hill and Jacob Rodriguez could potentially still be available there. Cornerback wise, looks like Pons is
Hans is
probably going to
gone.
be gone. I don't really know if I'd want to reach for any of these guys,
Wide
to be
receiver
honest with
wise,
you.
who's there?
Wide receiver wise, we're looking at Chris Brazel's kind of interesting, is an interesting name, I would say.
Mhm.
Surratt is more of a third round grade for me, I would say. I'd probably want to wait till the third round for him.
Can you scroll down a little bit more on the wide receivers? I just wanna see who else
Yeah.
is Skylar Bell. I know the Colts
Ooh,
really like
Skylar
Skylar
Bell.
Bell, so it's him in the
I could see
3rd
a
round.
third round too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go linebacker here. I really would. I'm pretty much either Anthony Hill or Jacob Rodriguez. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, take whoever you want. I'm with you there. Like, one of those 2 linebackers, I'm content with
I
either.
feel like Anthony Hill seems more like a Ballard guy, to be honest.
There was this other guy that I feel like the Colts really liked. I forgot what his name was. He must have gone earlier.
Oh, from TCU?
Is there a way to see, like, who went earlier, in the
Yeah,
draft on this thing?
yeah.
I'm
One
just
second.
curious.
Oh, okay. It's going to the third round. I'm gonna go back and I'll look at it real quick.
Yeah, we'll take a look after. Okay.
Okay, and then if we already get linebacker in the second round,
I wouldn't mind a Skylar Bell action.
Skylar Bell is available. Let's go Skylar Bell. Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind
Explosive
him at
wide
all.
receiver, 101 catches, 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns in his yeah. They need a guy who can come in and at least be somewhat of a contributor from day one, because when you lose a guy like Michael Pittman, you need that.
Yeah, no, I like those for like if the Colts come out with those 2 players on those 2 rounds,
B
I'm content
plus.
with that.
Okay. Congratulations, GM. Colts Unplugged Pod, the new GMs for the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, who says no? B plus. We got Anthony.
Click the first full round summary.
So you're curious where Pons went?
No, Pons and the other linebacker. I forgot what his name is.
Yeah. Talking about TCU.
So, okay,
guy?
here's Pons. Pons went to the Ravens, I see. Okay.
Oh, Jake Goldday was also
Goldday.
yeah,
we
from
saw that.
Cincinnati. Literally 1 pick before, and then Pons
Colts really
was
like
2
Goldday too.
picks before.
Yeah, see? I would take any of those 2
my
players
God.
in the second round. Like,
I'll be honest, dude. I'd be kind of mad if Pons went 1 or 2 picks before us, because he would be an excellent Kenny Moore
I would
replacement.
love him.
Oh my God.
I mean, I think Justin Wally will replace Kenny Moore, but I love Pons
Yeah.
from hey, Traverse Ward might not be back and has concussion issues. It'd be great to
You
just
need
have a guy like Pons,
depth.
man.
Yeah. Dude, Chris Bell. They
Coming
got
off
Chris
the
Bell going
ACL.
44. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. First round
Wow.
talent, just tore his ACL.
Interesting. Omar
Yeah.
Cooper. Okay. Indiana. Nice. Let's see. Yeah, this is about how I think. Dude, I will say this, last thing before we go, I kind of am hoping and praying that the Tennessee Titans don't get Jeremiah Love,
Same.
because he's gonna be a freaking baller, dude.
I hope they trade down. Just
Yeah.
take someone else.
I hope not. That's gonna be a problem for the Indianapolis
I
Colts. He's
agree.
gonna I think rookie year he could put up 200 plus on the
Bro,
Colts.
he's gonna be
Graduate.
a Pro Bowl level running back right from day one.
I
Like,
know, everyone knows it too.
yeah.
Well, there you have it, guys. We've got the Colts Unplugged mock draft, 2nd and 3rd round. We've got the Colts taking Anthony Hill Jr. out of Texas at linebacker and Skylar Bell out of UConn at wide receiver.
Somebody send this to Destin.
Yeah, send it over. I think that I'll be honest, I'll take that. If
I'll
that
take it.
happens, I'm in.
I'll take it.
I'm in.
I'll take it.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have fun on draft night. And as always, before I say as always, make sure you subscribe and follow us on all socials, baby. And as always, go Colts.